Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, welcome back to a brand new video here today, and before we get into today's career mode episode though, I've got a very special and awesome announcement to make. So last week, obviously, I gave you guys a little teaser image of my logo in a very splash of vibey colours, and I said apparel was coming. And today, I'm very happy to reveal what the first drop of apparel is going to look like here on Friday. That's this coming Friday, the 26th of April at 6 PM at the Vloce shop. There'll be a link in the description below. It's going to be a hoodie and a t-shirt that you can see on screen right now. Reveal this also on my Twitter and Instagram, and also community posted it on YouTube, so you might have seen it there as well. But I'm really excited for you guys to see it for the first time now here in this full reveal. And like I said, it's going to go live on the Vloce shop, which is going to launch on Friday. That's the 26th of April, coming up at 6 PM. So if you guys have ever wanted to kind of rep and rock any kind of clothing from me, I've never done anything like this. It's the first time I've done it. And now you guys can. I've seen some of you guys were really excited just by the teaser image, so hopefully you like the full finished kind of product there of the hoodie and t-shirt. Very much inspired by my love of streetwear and sneaker culture. If you guys follow me on social media, you'll very much know how much I'm into that outside of all the stuff I do on YouTube and F1. Very much a big passion and hobby of mine. And so I'm so excited to launch my very first apparel drop like this. And it's very much going to be like a lot of streetwear drops. Once it's gone, it is gone. It's going to only be out for a limited amount of time. We're talking very, very limited amount of time. And then once we close the store, that is it. That is gone. The design is gone forever. And the next one, it will be a completely different design if, this goes successfully. So yeah, that is the big announcement from me today before we get into the rest of the episode. So speaking about that, let's get into it. It's episode 167 for my F1 2018 career mode here with Alfa Romeo Racing for Season 8 at the Brazilian Grand Prix, the second last round of the season. Of course, last episode, the Mexican Grand Prix, if you did miss that, by the way, be sure to go check that one out, because that was a very crucial episode, because going into this now, we have a bit more of a cushion once again to Pierre Gasly, our main championship rival for the title, and also a little bit we set ourselves up to maybe try and get Alfa Romeo Racing as a team, myself and Leclerc, back in this fight with Gasly and Sainz at Red Bull Honda. It's going to be a tough one though. Brazil has historically always been a tricky one against AI. They're very fast around here, they're very consistent around here, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know how our car is going to fare. Our car was quite quick around Mexico with the straight line speed we had, so let's see how it goes. But generally around the corners in Sector 2, I would assume Red Bull will be very, very strong. But saying that, the car did feel very good. I mean, to be fair, now we're getting to the end of the season. A lot of these tracks now are feeling really amazing with the Season 8 car performance. The car is fully maxed out. We haven't had downfalls like this ever. This is probably one of the best cars I've driven, like I said, in career mode, full stop on the game. And so the cars just feel so planted around these circuits that we go to at the very end of the season once they're maxed out. And so we do set the fastest lap of the session, actually, to my surprise. I was ahead of Verstappen and Gasly with 2 and a bit minutes to go, so I was very shocked that Gasly was not pole, and neither was Carlos Sainz. My teammate was even a little bit down, so it was a very good first lap, I guess, because we're actually down and red in the first sector. So that first sector was very decent for us. As we go through into the heart of the middle sector, we actually gain a bit more time and go just about green on the top right there. We're still first place as we enter the last 2 minutes of the session. So I was thinking, hang on here, has this car just found some magical pace around Brazil? Maybe our car this season is actually pretty good, because I remember last season, Season 7, the Sauber we were driving was not very good around Brazil, but this Alfa Romeo Racing car now in Season 8 seems to actually be going very, very well around here. And so as he runs to the line, we're actually red once again. So that first lap, I think, is going to be the better lap. So across the line, we don't improve our lap time, but we're still in first there. By the time we go to the end of the session, unfortunately, we're knocked off pole position, but we're still on the front row of the grid. Verstappen is the one on pole position in the Mercedes car, but look at that, Gasly's behind us in P4. Never did I think that was actually going to happen. I talked about the entire time at Mexico about needing a good Mexican Grand Prix race, because I knew and thought that Brazil was going to be the one where Gasly comes back, but our car actually performed really well around there. I beat Gasly and Leclerc beat Carlos Sainz, so respectively, both Alfa Romeo cars were faster than the Red Bull cars, the ones they're fighting essentially. So that's looking really good, not just for the Drivers' Championship, but also the Constructors maybe as well, going towards the final race next episode, Abu Dhabi. So let's get into this now. This might be a much more interesting race than I thought it was going to be.
Where there's a will, well, there's a way. And nowhere has that fact been better demonstrated over the years than here at Interlagos. Remember Senna winning while fighting a gearbox that was jammed in 6th? 5 Drivers' Championship deciders in a row between 2005 and 2009. And of course, the passionate Brazilian fans packing the grandstands to capacity every year. And they're not about to stop now. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. Two very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2. Where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the two DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Let's talk about the engineer. Everything's on the line here today and the title hangs in the balance. So how do you think they'll be coping with all that pressure?
By trying not to think about the result too much. The worst thing you can do in this situation is think about all the what-ifs. What if I get hit going into turn 1? What if I get a penalty? What if I finish outside the points? If you let any of those kind of worries get to you, you can't focus on the job. So staying in the right mindset will be critical today.
And so with that then, let's have a look at the starting grid ahead of this Brazilian Grand Prix for Season 8 of my F1 2018 career mode. And so on pole position is Max Verstappen in his Mercedes car. Myself, though, in a surprising front row in second place. Hulkenberg then third with Fernando Alonso P4. P5 is Hamilton, then my teammate Leclerc with Carlos Sainz in P7, Dan Ricciardo P8, and the top 10 round out by the two Ferraris. We've got Sergio Swatkins sharing grid with Pierre Gasly, my championship rival, who's been dealt with a grid penalty. Then you've got the two Force Indy cars, then the two Haas, then you've got Brendan Hartley in the McLaren, Kimi Raikkonen in P18 in the Williams, Van Dorn also with a penalty down in P19, and then Lance Stroll rounds out the grid for the Brazilian Grand Prix. So the even bigger shock then, if you watch that starting grid sequence, is that Gasly is even further back than I thought. He's not only behind us, he's now outside the top 10 due to a grid penalty. So I didn't see that coming, didn't actually even factor that in to anything here. So that's going to make this job potentially even doubly better for us then for this race. We have a great potential on the front row. You know, we can go for hopefully a podium if the qualifying pace carries over into the race. We don't know what Leclerc's going to do as well. And now Gasly is outside the top 10. Traffic's usually quite bad at the very start of this race, so we have a good opportunity here. It's going to be a two-stop, two sets of supers to soft tyres. It would seem like no rain in the air, just a little bit overcast potentially as the sun comes down, and so it should be a bit of a straightforward one for hosts, hopefully. But let's just keep it calm and try and do this job then, and use this opportunity we've got of this great starting position. So here we go then to 5 red lights to the Brazilian Grand Prix. This second last race of this season is underway. It's a good getaway for us compared to Verstappen there, who does have a lot of wheel spin on the rear left, especially into turn 1. We tried to have a look, but Verstappen just about pulls through and does enough to defend from me there. Placed his car very, very well, to be fair to him. So we maintain that P2 though. Alonso behind us there with a lightning quick start in that Renault car, and that Renault has actually come alive in the last few episodes, has been looking better and better. Meanwhile, you've got Leclerc in P4, I think, just ahead of Hamilton and the other Mercedes car of Hulkenberg. And as I look behind in the background, I can't even see where Gasly is, so I assume he's still bogged down outside the top 10. So very, very good scenario for us. So we now close up to Verstappen, try and stick with him. We can maybe have a good run up the hill, you know, like Mexico showed. Our car is very good in slipstream, so if I can just stick with Verstappen enough, I can maybe get a run at him. But you can see the car is a little bit uneasy on heavy fuel. The car was feeling very unbalanced compared to qualifying there, and so I was a little bit worried about how that would go in Sector 2 as we go on through this lap. So we're going to have to watch out for that in this opening stint. But here we go up the hill. Can we close up enough? We're hot lap mode. We're now going to switch to overtake mode as we go up into 8th gear. We've not got DRS, remember, it's the opening lap only, but we've got Rich Mix to use as well to aid us, and we are gaining a fair bit there. So here we go to the inside. Verstappen again defends, and oh, there's been a bit of contact. Verstappen's turned into us there. He hardly gave us any room on the apex of turn 1, and he slammed us off circuit. We're down to P4. Luckily didn't have any more because I was on the grass. That could have been a lot worse, and I could have panicked and kind of spun the car by accident. Instead on P4, now P5 as Hulkenberg takes the opportunity to dive bomb it down the inside as I'm still a bit flustered and getting back used to everything there. So now it's Verstappen from Leclerc in P3, Alonso's P2. We've just managed to go around the outside of Hulkenberg and trying to get this position back there up the hill. Very audacious move, hasn't worked out. Bit of contact there with Hulkenberg, so I get a little bit angry, I can't lie, at the entire situation there, because I went for the move on Verstappen, didn't work out. Obviously he defended well, but then in the second phase of the apex, I felt like he just pinched me way more than he needed to. He could have just done what he did on lap 1 and turned right for the next apex of turn 2, but instead he continued to turn into me and then basically forced me off circuit there, and I had to straighten up the car as we went on the grass, because otherwise it probably would have spanned it by slamming down the throttle as I usually do. So now we have to be a bit careful now, because now we're under attack from Hamilton and we're down to P5 properly there, because we couldn't even get Hulkemo back. We've locked up on the front left. Hamilton's on the inside there. We have to give him acres of room there, and we need to go off circuit ourselves, having to give him the space. So we just about survived that and stay in P5, but that was not an ideal turn 1 scenario there for us on lap 2. But as we now moved on to lap number 4, you can see we're a little bit closer now to Hulkenberg, and this train's actually bunching up quite a fair bit behind Fernando Alonso there, who's got into P1. So Alonso leads, it's then Verstappen, Leclerc and Hulkenberg, and we're getting the pace back. You can see he's setting a purple there in the last sector, getting a lot of time and gaining confidence. So the car's coming back to me a little bit. It was quite heavy and cumbersome a little bit in that first few laps here, but now as we're shedding some fuel, the car's feeling faster, I'm feeling faster, and you can see they're setting a purple there just after Alonso has set his one, but there's still a bit of an issue in turns 1 and 2 there. I can never get these center S correct with a lock up on the front left, but we are definitely sticking with Hulkenberg and can soon make a move hopefully as we go through then the end of lap 5. You can see hounding Hulkenberg. He goes very awkwardly in the middle of the circuit, slows down mid-apex there, and is really holding me up now. So we have to have a good run, and we have to try and get past him there, because I definitely am faster and I can close up that gap that Leclerc's got ahead on the minimap. So here we go, DRS open. He's got DRS, but we will have the straight line speed advantage up into P4. Hamilton might even try and attack him, but there is Leclerc now just up the road. He's pressurizing Verstappen, as meanwhile Alonso looks like he's getting away actually. So like I said, the Renaults have been looking comfier and comfier. We changed the strategy there, as my engineer said, do you want to come in at a different point of the strategy? So I accepted that strategy. Little did I know that I think that strategy change might have been onto a set of medium tyres. So we'll see how that pans out. My engineer going for a very different strategy to what we initially planned, of a 2-stop to maybe a 1-stop. But meanwhile, we've got a fight between Leclerc and Verstappen. Leclerc has got Verstappen. We're getting slipstream. Could we overtake the Dutchman? Oh, what the? Verstappen, and he put us off the circuit again. But a bit of a weird glitch there. It seems like he got lag desync in an offline career mode race. Look at this, the slow-mo replay. He and Leclerc both teleport mid-straight, like as if there was like lag in an offline race. Absolutely weird. And if it wasn't for that, he probably would have completely took me off the circuit there again for the second time on the grass there. So I'm actually counting my lucky stars. There was some weird random ass glitch there halfway down the straight, which kind of desynced us. And so Verstappen is still ahead of us in P3. We're P4, but again, like Hulkenberg, we're hounding him. And this time we make an oh-so-sweet move to the outside of that corner. Such a weird place to make a move on the outside, but we're trying it. Verstappen gets ahead of us there. He's really defending quite hard. We're to the inside there. We're not going to let him bully us to the left-hand side. We open DRS. We cut across him quite aggressively to make him sure that we're there. And we're up into P3 now. Leclerc is up into P2, having already made the move there. And so we can try and chase after him. And then, I don't know, maybe even chase after Alonso. The pace is really coming back. But the one thing is, both of us have great pace, myself and Leclerc. So this Alfa Romeo racing car has really adapted well to Brazil this season in a way I didn't think was possible. And both Red Bull Hondas are still way behind us in like P6, 7 minimum, or maximum rather. So, you know, it's looking very, very good right now. Leclerc comes in for his pit stop. We continue on to lap number 12. We're going to come in, and like I said, I accepted the change of strategy, but at the time I didn't actually realise what I was accepting, and what I was accepting was a switch to a 1-stop. This will be actually, because we're going to go onto a set of medium tyres and go to the end of the Grand Prix, which I didn't really want to do at the time of when I realised, like when I came into the pit box and saw the white tyres going on, I was like, oh, hang on, this was a mistake, I didn't want to do this. But in reality, I didn't actually have the pace to keep up with Alonso and maybe Leclerc. I think Leclerc was also hitting tyre wear, to be fair. That was more the reason why I caught up to him. And in this way, it gives me an outside shot to maybe get track position on Alonso and try and go for this race win in a bit of a different way. Everyone else around me is doing a 2-stop here, so I still have track position. I will have track position, and I'll be on one less stop. So I think this actually works out to be maybe a better strategy. But at the time, when I came out of the pit lane here behind Hamilton, I thought, what on earth has my engineer done? But I think it will work out in the end, maybe later on. We'll have to see. But Hamilton now is attacking Vettel. Vettel's very awkwardly parked the bus on Hamilton, so I'm suspecting Hamilton will go for the move very, very early on to the inside there. Can we try and get Vettel maybe into turn 1 as we open DRS? That Ferrari car has been very slow this season, so here we go, gaining on him on lap 14. Can we make a dive to the inside? I think better of it, but Hamilton's locked up majorly. No! We've had to brake check ourselves as Hamilton cuts across us very dangerously, and we almost lose maybe our front wing there as Hamilton has no regard for where I was on circuit. So we have been absolutely done over 3 times now in this Grand Prix. Verstappen twice, now Hamilton. These guys are not looking in their mirrors. Meanwhile, behind us, speaking about the Red Bull cars earlier and seeing where they are, they're now side by side. Gasly, that is, trying to get around the outside of his teammate. Surprised his teammate Sainz is putting up such a fight because Gasly is the only one in the championship fight. But there he is. He's not actually too far off us now. He's, 1, 2, 3 positions behind us, but he's still behind us. So that's the crucial thing. So it's really damage limitation, I would say, maybe for Gasly this Grand Prix heading into Abu Dhabi, which is absolutely amazing for us. But here we are now, still stuck behind Hamilton and Vettel, and literally it's deja vu all over again. Vettel goes very awkwardly into this corner, defends against Hamilton, but this time we're on the outside there. Hamilton squeezes us, and there's sparks flying as we made contact there, so it's all getting very frosty between myself and Hamilton up the hill. And now a Mercedes car has also joined the party. It's a 4-way train, but here we go, a 3-wide move, and it's a double overtake on Vettel and Hamilton. Nicely done. Hamilton comes back at us though on lap 15 into turn 1. We're going to cut across into turn 2 and make sure we get that position there, and so we're up into now P4 behind Leclerc in P3, and now in clean air to try and get away. Meanwhile, behind our championship rival Gasly now is facing a 3-wide battle there between 2 Mercs and the Ferrari, but one of the Mercs locks up there and takes the Ferrari wide. And so Gasly is up those 2 free positions, and so he's been helped out there massively, but he's still behind us, so that's the good thing. So he's got to overtake one more Mercedes car, then you've got Hamilton, and then myself trying to chase down Leclerc. And meanwhile, Leclerc's in P2 now, I believe. I think we've gone up into P3 because there was one last person yet to make a pit stop, but Alonso is up in P1, and he's pretty much dominating this Grand Prix. So very much almost like early in the season, in the first 3 races where Alonso literally just whitewashed the opening 3 rounds. He's pretty much doing that now at Brazil here today, Sao Paulo's. Now the overcast conditions come out, but there shouldn't be any rain. It should just be a little bit gloomy like this. So I'm not too worried, and I think this one-stop strategy is still the way to go. I think it's going to turn into a pretty good chance to maybe try and jump Leclerc and Alonso if we can maybe muster enough pace afterwards once they've made their pit stops. But for now, we're just defending against Hamilton, who's obviously going faster. He's on faster set of tyres, 2 compound softer, so no surprise he's coming at us there around the outside, but we're just doing a great job to defend against him in turns 1 and 2 there, just doing enough to give him a room, but also squeeze him out on the exit as we move on to the end of sector 1. The very next lap 20, Hamilton goes to the inside. This might be the move finally made for him because he's on the inside. We've got a lot of understeer on the outside there, so he is past us, but to be honest, it's going to be very soon now that he and the rest of these guys are going to make pit stops soon, so I'm not too worried. Gasly now is right up my chuff. It's the first time he's seen me in this entire Grand Prix, so that's a little bit depressing maybe for him, and very good for me because he's also going to make another pit stop, so I don't need to worry really. I can relax, take things calm, just focus on my pace. As you'll see on lap 23 now, as we go on to it, Hamilton's going to come in, so he gained quite a lot of time, to be fair, once he overtook me. I was actually quite slow compared to him, but eventually we will overtake him, and we will also overtake the other guys ahead of us, Leclerc and Alonso. There they are on the minimap there. We're side by side with Alonso basically on the minimap there as we come through turn 2. There he was on the left, and we're going to get ahead of him. So we're into P1 then. So my engineer, to be fair to him, had a very good shout at this strategy. We now got track position, and now it's about how long I can defend against Alonso. The answer, to be honest, against Alonso is not very long. Look how quick he is. That Renault has always been quick in a straight line for this entire season. It was so OP at the very start of this season, and it's no different now. Alonso gets past, and there's no point me fighting really against Fernando because he's not in my championship fight anymore. Why should I lose about 10 seconds more time fighting him here where I can just let him go because he's already just waltzed away in P1, and instead I'll try and maybe defend against my teammate. But even then, there's no point fighting my teammate either. We've got positions against Gasly. I don't need extra points really. I mean, I would be happy with extra points, but if it means jeopardizing my teammate's race, I'd rather not do that because remember, we're still in a championship fight with Red Bull as well, so it benefits both myself and Leclerc to score highly. So I'd rather let him go in P2, and I'll try and finish off this race in P3 then. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're just about to hold this through on Hamilton because Hamilton's actually closed up right to me on the last lap of the Grand Prix. If there was 2 more laps left, or even 1 one more lap. I think Hamilton probably would have overtaken me for P3, but instead Alonso's going to win the race. Leclerc will come home in P2, and I will finish up just about in P3. You're going to see how close this is. It's a photo finish at the line. So close. Not quite a photo finish, but very close stuff there with Hamilton. GG's. He pushed me very hard there at the end, but we do get the podium, and we get a brilliant 3rd place.
A great win then for the Renault team today. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
So P2 and P3 then for Alfa Romeo Racing here. Gasly finishes down in P5, so we're going to gain a decent haul of points against him, you know, to 15 points to 10 points, so the gap has increased. So we're looking very comfy now for the finale. Mathematically, Gasly could still win it, but I'm not going to lie, we pretty much almost got it. We've got one hand on it, and we're kind of reaching the other hand onto the other side of the trophy, because Gasly has to win the Grand Prix, and I have to basically DNF out of the race for him to win it. Constructors, though, that is the interesting thing. I would love to finish off this season crowning Alfa Romeo Racing the champions of F1 here. We're level on points with Red Bull. That is so crazy. So basically, we've reset the entire season, and it's a one-race shootout between Red Bull Honda and Alfa Romeo Racing for the F1 Championship. That is absolutely awesome, actually. I love how that's worked out. It's really cool. So the finale is set up now. Drivers' Championship, maybe the tension's taken off, but the Constructors, it is all to play for, and I really fancy trying to win us the championship. Last season, we didn't win it, both championships. This season, I want to try and clap back at Red Bull and win both championships if we can. So me and Leclerc need to try and work as a team at Abu Dhabi and try and do the job. But guys, if you did enjoy this episode, be sure to smash the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, to subscribe for weekly F1 content. I'll see you guys next time in this series for the finale at Abu Dhabi. Can we do it? Can we win both championships? Find out next time. Till then, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.